Burnum writes, what was the first console you ever owned? The first console I ever owned was the NES, the Nintendo Entertainment System, and I really enjoyed it as a kid. And I remember when I was young, starting to get into gaming, that every time I lost a life, I started crying. So my mom had to come in and actually play the game and... Hang on, time out. Okay, I'm back, yeah. Don't you love it when you get called while, you're trying to record something? Where was I? Oh yeah, my mom would have to play some of the game for me because I kept crying every time I failed. But as I got older and decided to play it myself, and she stopped playing video games after a while because she felt she didn't need to, because I could handle it on my own. And that's how my evolution as a gamer began. Plain and simple. Anyways, Herskaa writes, do you watch anime? Well, Herskaa, to be honest with you, I did not watch a lot of anime. I used to then, mostly the Sailor Moon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And stuff like that. Other than that, I haven't really followed a lot of anime. Oh yeah, another series I used to watch was Dragon Ball Z, but I only watched it during the end of the Frieza series. After that, I didn't really get into it anymore. A bit disappointing because Dragon Ball Z is really popular, and I tried so much to get into it, but after a while, it kind of faded. And when I was 18 at the time, I tried watching Inuyasha on YTV, but it comes on a little bit late, and I didn't really care much for it. I didn't really get into it, so I stopped watching anime altogether. I'm sorry, I'm just not that into it. I know you are, but anime just doesn't appeal to me as you would think. BadMCC writes, are you black? Well, I don't have a webcam to prove it, but I do have a photo that does. Here. This is me. From a couple years ago during a class party a couple months after we graduated from college. Yeah, I know, I was wearing the parasol on my head, I know. I was just having a little bit of fun, I wanted to put it in my hair, pose for the camera, and it was a pretty good time. Went downtown for dinner, it was a really nice meal. And then we went to the bar, played some pool, had a couple drinks. And it was a really good time. I didn't have a lot of money then, so I couldn't really do a lot. But I'm more of a stoic, quiet guy, so I don't really go out much, sadly, but when I do, I tend to make the most of it. So yeah, I hope that picture answers your question there, BenCC. SqueakeElf100, I think that's how you pronounce it, right? What do you think the future of gaming will be like? Well, I don't know about you, but I can't wait for Pong 3D when it comes out on the PS5. Nah, just kidding. But seriously, I think the future of gaming will be pretty damn good. I think the PlayStation 3 and all those shooter console kind of games are really going to dominate the gaming industry, hands down. The Nintendo DS, I believe, will still have a lot of momentum, in my opinion. That's pretty much what's going to keep the Nintendo going, because the Wii's not coming up with a lot of good ideas for their games, sadly. They need another Zelda game, or a Mario game, or a Metroid game to really get things going. That's how Nintendo is going to find its way back, because they're, in my opinion, if it weren't for the DS, they'd lose a lot of momentum. I think the future of gaming is still going to be pretty good. I'm going to be gaming for a very long time, I feel. And I have no intention of stopping soon, regardless of how the future of gaming is going to turn out. Kayla1Jade, one of my fangirls, writes, if you had the opportunity to create your own game, what would it be like or about? Well, if I had any window of opportunity in the world, I would make it like all the fighting games and pretty much any of the action games like Mario and Link and all that kind of stuff, with Metal Gear, Sonic, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Soul Calibur. Put the whole works together and have them pound the piss out of each other. Like the forces of good and evil, all lined up, and in the end have this huge battle royale for total dominance. Even include WWE wrestlers as well, because I would definitely love to see Mario jump on John Cena's head and turn him into the size of a Goomba. That would be so fucking awesome. But if I had to choose between any game that I could create, I think it would be something very similar to either Fallout 3 or The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. make it this huge world where you can explore, and you don't have to be completely restricted to the main story. You can pretty much do whatever you wanted, like have tons and tons of side quests. I mean, like hours and hours of side quests, include like massive bosses that you don't really have to fight, but if you could, it'd be a lot of fun. That's something I would like to do. So yeah, that's my dream game there for you. OldSnoova writes, have you thought of doing Gunsmoke for the NES? I actually have played Gunsmoke for the Nintendo, and I must say I was really impressed with it. Like, he turned this old classic Western show that's been on for years and turned into this interesting Western shoot-'em-up, if you ask me. So if you think I'd do Gunsmoke for the NES, yeah, I would. But right now I want to focus on my other games that I'm currently LPing, such as Castlevania Circle of the Moon and Yoshi's Island Plus, which I'm going to call it from now on because SMW2 Plus sounds kind of confusing, as well as Super Mario World 2 Plus. It's just too long, so I'm just going to call it Yoshi's Island Plus from now on. Hope it doesn't really confuse anyone. bIlau writes, if you could eat one thing for the rest of eternity, what would it be? I think if I had to choose between one thing, it would probably, believe it or not, be hash brown casserole. Like, I tried making it one time, and it was excellent. Especially put different kinds of cheese in there, as well as, like, put a little bit more sour cream. That way it's a little bit wet and moist and creamy. That way it'll taste really good. Another thing I'd probably choose would probably be barbecue. Like barbecue chicken, barbecue pork chops, and steak. Maybe even barbecued salmon. Like, anything put on the grill, smothered in sauce. That would just be heaven. Like, so, luckily I live in a world where I'm not restricted to one thing at a time, thank God. Otherwise I'll be a total slob. So yeah, I hope that answers your question as well. Donate the Player 6191 writes, if you had to pick only one video game character, what would it be? I know it sounds cliche, but if I had to choose between one character, it would probably be Mario, for obvious reasons. One, he doesn't look like this stereotypical hero that's so gallant and brave. Two, he looks like a total plumber, and believe it or not, he's so powerful. Like, he could jump on enemies, like roll with the use of mushrooms, burn enemies to death using flowers, be all godlike with a star. And not only that, he gets to save the princess and maybe get some poo-tang, even though Nintendo never really admits it because they're kid-friendly. But yeah, I mean, that's one character I would really like to be. Like, I mean, think about it. Sure, he has a brother that's pretty much following his shadows, more like a lamb than a lion. But yeah, if I had to be in one video game character's life, it would be Mario. Yeah, just think about it. Plus, I get rich from grabbing ominous floating coins all the time. I'd be total fucking rich. Okay, PrinceMarthx writes, what was the hardest non-rom hack game you have ever played? The hardest game I ever played and beaten was I Want to Be the Guy. I mean, trust me, it was hard as balls, but after 47 videos and total persistence, I managed to beat the game, albeit though I did it while I was dying. Thank God I did not press the R button at that time, because if I did, I would never know if I'd beaten it or not. So yeah. And another hardest game that I ever played, but never beaten, was Dragon's Lair for the NES. Guys, do not request me to play that game, because if you do, I will murder you all. It was so bad. Like, I couldn't get used to controls. Like, B was jump and A was attack. Like, what the hell? Come on. And of course, when I got hit by the dragon's fire, I pretty much got reduced to bones in an instant, so I pretty much knew that as soon as I saw the health bar and I died in one hit, that was a game I did not want to play anymore. Maybe I might play Dragon's Lair for the Sega CD, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to focus on, like I said, the games I got playing as well as the games that were requested to me ages ago. Some of them I haven't even touched yet. Maybe the next game I'll do will be Mega Man X2 for the Super Nintendo. I'm thinking of doing that. I like to get the X series done, though I don't think I'll be doing the PlayStation games anytime soon. Just something for me to like touch base on while I'm working on other things.